Hey YouTube, today I feel drawn to talk about movement and how it is key to our health, both emotionally, spiritually, and physically, and why it is key to get out there and move your body every day. So I think that our emotions, again, are energy in motion, and oftentimes we can store our tension and our energy, our angst, our worries, our fears in our muscle tissues, our sadness, grief, whatever it may be, in our muscle tissues, right? And so when we don't move our bodies, then we tend to get stiff, we tend to stagnate and get stuck in certain emotional loops, which ultimately dictate our thoughts. Our thoughts dictate our emotions, and vice versa. Our emotions dictate our thoughts, because once we have programmed ourselves to be a certain way, the emotions that we feel become physically addictive to our body. So the chemicals that we're producing in our body, whether they are good, oxytocin, dopamine, from feeling gratitude or joy, appreciation, or if they're negative and they make me feel tension in my body and stress. So movement helps us to alleviate some of that tension and to loosen up and limber up. And it's also one of the best ways to push ourselves. I think I've talked about it before, and we're here to grow. This is a gym for our spirit, right? And our body is our physical vessel, but it's also a representation of our spirit. So if you are non-disciplined with yourself, that's going to show obviously in the appearance of your body. If you are disciplined with yourself and you have a good physique and you're fit and you take care of yourself, you eat right, that's obviously going to show in your appearance as well. So when we have dis-ease in our body or in our emotional state, we're not in a state of ease, then that will manifest itself on the physical through a bunch of different ways. But the root cause of it is that there was an emotional turmoil at the base of the dis-ease, and then with that might come into effect. Like, if I'm not feeling good about myself, then yeah, I'm not going to eat the best foods for my body, which again is going to add fuel to the fire. If I'm not moving my body, then that is going to add fuel to the fire. When you don't move your body and you stagnate so much and you're just resting all the time, you're in a state of deep rest, and then you become depressed because you're not moving your body, you're not doing the things that you love, you're not getting out in nature, you're not getting proper sun exposure. And these are things that are all going to attribute to how I feel internally, and ultimately that's going to attribute to my overall performance in life and how I make others feel, right? So if we're here and we're given this short amount of time, we have to figure out the key and the things that make us happy while we have this short amount of time, and do that, right? So many people are just going through the motion of living their lives without really knowing what they want or what they want out of life or where they're heading. And with that mentality, it's you're like a captain at sea. You're like a ship at sea with no captain. And if you don't have a destination, you're never going to hit your goal, right? But if you have an idea of where you're heading, you might not make it the first try, but then you redirect, you're more likely to eventually reach that outcome. So when we start to put in the work for ourselves and we start to move our body, we start to feel better, right? And it gives us something to work towards. I think, like I said, in this gym, we're here to grow. And so when we push ourselves physically, and emotionally and spiritually, there's a huge one of the most beneficial ways to get out of your comfort zone, you know. And there's so many beautiful ways now to move your body that it really doesn't matter what you do, as long as you're doing something you enjoy, as long as you really enjoy it and you're getting out in nature. That's like some of the best things. So every day I try and get in the sun. I try and plant my feet on the ground. I try and give thanks for the beauty of this place that I'm blessed to live in. And yeah, I try and progress, right, on the skills that I'm working towards. And for me, that's mountain biking, guitaring, snowboarding. Gotten into calisthenics recently. But as you start to develop those crafts, you start to develop those skills, you start to develop yourself. And I think knowing yourself and working towards that mastery, towards that development, is one of the most important things. You know, nothing in life is given easy, and nowadays so many people are just expecting things to be given. We watch a video on YouTube, you see a short of some guy doing a crazy trick on a snowboard or doing something crazy, and you don't realize how much time and how much energy went into that skill to develop that, to get to that level, right? So as we develop ourselves and as we grow and as we learn to adapt and be more creative in situations, then we push ourselves out of our comfort zone. Our comfort zone is the box that we basically die in, right? And when we start to push out of that comfort zone and get comfortable with being uncomfortable, is a motto to live by, right? Because that pushes us to be better people. And as we learn to adapt, obviously, you know, you don't have to do situations all the time that you're not amped about, but by pushing yourselves, even if it's baby steps, that's how we grow, right? And that's how we learn to be better. And so I felt drawn today to talk about that, just moving your body, whatever aspect that is. Push yourself, get out there, find the things that you like to do. It might take a bit, right? It might take a bit of trial and error, but as you pick up the skills and as you put in the work, you start to unlock new capabilities in yourself and in the skill, which then allow you to have further capabilities to enjoy and more freedom. Yeah, so again, thanks for listening. I also, on a personal note, feel that I need to start giving more time to my creative aspect on as being a creator on YouTube. I've been creating in other aspects of my life and using it, and it's beautiful, but I have a lot of information and I want to share it, and it's been more of a side thought, like an afterthought, than really one of my main intentions and one of my main goals. So I'm going to start dedicating more time to bringing more heartfelt content and being more present when I'm doing it, rather than kind of just being in a rush while I'm on my bike ride, enjoying the beautiful nature that I get to enjoy every day. So yeah, I think that we're here to help others ultimately, and the more that we can help ourselves and put ourselves in a state where we're happy and grateful and just glad to be alive, then we can start to bring that energy to other people, which is what we need in the world. We don't need more fear. We don't need more drama and polarity and hatred and judgment. We need more love. We need more acceptance. We need more joy and abundance and prosperity for everyone, not just individuals, us, but as individuals, you know. And I have this I had this thought a while ago, and it's funny because I was just talking to one of my coworkers the other day, and he said, what can one person do, right? And that is a thought that we all have, like, what can one person do? I'm just one person. But one person, if I affect one person who affects another 10 people, and they affect 10 people, that all of a sudden has a ripple effect, right? and I can affect a lot of people. And with the advent of YouTube and social media, it's easier than ever now to just put yourself out there and to possibly affect lots of people with a little bit of content, right? So I'm putting myself out there, and I'm hoping that the people that need to hear it. So yeah, that's what I got for today. Get out there, push yourself, move your body, grow, learn, right? That's what we're here to do. It's a beautiful, beautiful world that we live in. And even if you're going through tough stuff and it may be hard, if you focus on that, that's what you're going to get more of, right? But if we can change the direction of our thoughts and start to focus on what we're grateful for, then the world changes around us, right? And so it's when you change the way that you look at the world around you changes. And so when you start to look at the world from a aspect of gratitude, and everything is beautiful and just being present, it's a way more beautiful place, right? So thanks for listening. Have a great day. Get out there.